Dude, doesn't that rip?
You're an idiot.
No, you're an idiot.
Welcome back, pro-life enthusiasts.
Okay.
This is the You're an Idiot podcast.
Wow, I like that.
I wrote that down today. I was like, that'll be
Pro-life
so funny.
enthusiast. I was just in North Dakota, so I'm pro-life a little bit.
Fargo.
Yeah, North Dakota rips. I'll
Kid.
say this on record. Fargo, one of the greatest little towns in America.
Emailed them 4 times to no avail, but it's okay.
And they were talking. The lady was saying she's going to have you.
Oh,
Because
really?
we were measuring to see if you'll be able to fit on the stage because the ceiling's kind of low.
She followed me on Instagram.
No, she was going to have you. I said you only had 30, but she's like, we can have the feature go a little longer.
Unbelievable.
No, they're going to have you in Fargo. It's a great place.
We'll
what a
see.
town.
Can't wait.
Drago's been telling me all day, dude, I got some stories for the
day.
pod. I got some stories. What are they?
We haven't seen each other in 2 weeks.
We haven't seen each other in 2 weeks.
A lot has
Barely
happened.
spoke. A lot of smiles on my part, honestly.
Yeah.
A lot of time away
It's
from
been,
the kid.
It's been really, really nice.
Have I not seen you in 2 weeks? Do we
I've-
not? I
no,
feel like
I've
we
seen
ran
you.
into each other at a show or something.
See the
Yeah.
show or something. Yeah,
We
I've
hung
seen
out
you
once
out.
since then.
Which is fine. But
Yeah.
Geoffrey, yes, we you saw the Super Bowl last night. I did not.
Oh, you didn't watch the Super Bowl?
Nope.
What?
I went to the ER last night
What the fuck?
at 6:30.
What the hell?
Yep, I woke up in Chicago 5 in the morning, broke out in a sweat, heart was racing, chest was pounding.
Wait,
my
this
chest,
is on Super Bowl Sunday. You wake up at
my
5 in the morning.
I was having one of my classic February chest pains from last year.
Oh my God!
For
The
January.
booster still at it, still stabbing you.
I was contemplating not getting on the flight. The chest was hurting so bad.
When was the flight?
8 a.m.
And here's the real question: how many days in a row had you been drinking?
What? Why is that the question?
How many? How many?
Probably 5 or 6.
Probably 5 or 6 days in a row of drinking. I'm sure they're unconnected. I'm sure there's no connection at all.
Was putting the jardinere on my pizza a good idea? No.
Could
have
How
been
drunk did you
heartburn.
get the night before?
Not that drunk actually. No, not that drunk.
But the nights before that,
Yes.
you kind of went out. Okay,
A little bit.
Alcohol has a lot of effect on one's heart. It's interesting.
I woke up that morning and it was really painful. Was worried the whole time on the plane. It sucked.
What did it feel like? What did it feel like?
Sharp pain every time I breathed in.
Oh wow!
And
Damn.
then breathe in, sharp pain. Breathe out, sharp pain. Trying to do short breaths to keep it at bay.
And you went to the plane still?
Even in the turbulence, I'm just like, if this thing goes down, it's like what? At least I'm. At least
It would
I'm
be a
back.
relief from the
At
pain
least
you're under.
I'm just like,
my
whatever.
God!
So then
Jesus.
get off the plane. I don't know, just like it subsides a little bit. I'm feeling a little better. I'm like, okay, I've been through this before. I know it's not that like
It's just the
it-
booster.
It happens
it's just
sometimes.
Fauci taking a little house call. in
Yeah,
your
I'm like
heart.
this is like I've been through this before. I've had worse pain than this before. I know like
Sure.
so this pain is tough. I've had worse
Yeah, out
pain
of
than
10,
this
what
before.
would you give this? That's
Like
what I
a
always say.
7.
Okay, that's pretty high.
I've had like 9 before.
Okay, so
where it's like
what
unbearable.
made this go to an ER visit?
A few hours later, the pain just comes back out of nowhere. I'm like, fuck. I look at my phone. The urgent cares are all closed.
Mm-hmm.
Can't go to the urgent care.
Sunday, yeah.
Go to the I live next to a hospital. It's a block from me. in
Oh,
Bushwick.
okay.
So I'm just like, fuck. I'll just go in there, emergency room. I tell them I have chest pain. My buddy's dad, who's a doctor, said if you tell them you have chest pain, they get you in right away.
For sure.
Bushwick doctors, they don't give a fuck.
They didn't let you in?
Nah, they let me in like 20 minutes.
Oh,
But still, I was
okay.
like, I could have died.
No, you're a healthy virile man.
So then, yeah. So I'm sitting. So I get in there. They admit me. I talked to the doctor. I'm like, chest pains. I'm like, I give him the whole story. I'm like, chest pains last year. Fauci got me. The whole thing.
Did you tell him that we have a Patreon with 70 patrons? Did you tell him maybe get a little free
No.
health care from that?
Yeah, I was like, my Patreon's kind of popping off.
Yeah.
So if you want to, but
Did you tell him you thought the booster gave you myocarditis?
No,
Did you
no,
tell
no.
him that?
I
Oh,
said
okay.
I had chest pains for about 6 weeks last year, like kind of
Yeah,
like fucked up
okay.
my
Yeah.
Q1 or whatever. And he was like, so he's like, all right, well, we got to do these tests. We'll do a blood test,
Sure.
chest X-ray, CAT scan. He goes,
You did a cat? Isn't that where you go in the tunnel? You did the tunnel?
we're in the tunnel.
Wow.
And this is where I start. So then he goes, okay. I go, okay. I guess that's fine. Like, I just better safe than sorry. I get a Russian nurse. She comes up to me and she's like Alexander Dragicevic, and I was like, you said it perfectly.
Oh no.
She's like, what brings you in? I was like, chest pain, but it's actually not feeling that bad anymore. She's like, oh, you just like want to get it looked at the ER. I was like, yeah, I know. I was like, is my bill gonna be heavy? She's like, well, she turns to me and she's like, it's gonna be like 3 times more here because this is the emergency room.
Yeah,
your bill's gonna.
But you didn't know that.
I mean, I
get it. You panic. I
So
did it.
then-
Yeah. Some would say you might have been having a panic attack.
So then,
Many people, I would say that.
so then I think about my bank account and how I don't really need any more hospital bills.
Did you
at
just
this point.
leave?
So here's what happened. I start to freak out. And I go, oh my God, I'm not gonna be able to afford this visit. Like they're gonna do CAT scan, radiology. I'm gonna get cancer
Don't
from
you
that
have
thing.
insurance from your job?
I do have insurance, but still, it's like you don't
It's not
like these
good,
these
probably,
copays
yeah.
are crazy.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking now. I'm like, I'm gonna. So the doctor comes back. He goes first.
This
thing,
is why you need to subscribe to the Patreon, everyone.
yeah.
So
We
Alex doesn't
need.
to go
By the
through
way,
this.
thanks to the new 5 patrons from last week. Much appreciated.
That will be enough for Alex to undergo maybe like 10 minutes of urgent care in the future.
Doc-
so that's huge.
Doctor comes back in. He goes, by the way, you have to test. We have to do 1 blood test, and then you have to wait 3 hours, take another blood test, wait another 3 hours. You're gonna be here for about 6 hours, so you get comfortable. He leaves. I go, holy shit!
What?
I'm gonna be here for 6 or 7 hours,
No.
and I'm gonna have to pay thousands of dollars to probably know that I'm okay.
Did you dine and dash the ER?
Another nurse walks in. He goes, hey, I'm like your other nurse. Asian guy, so hot.
Okay.
Really
but
hot,
the Russian
dude.
lady, not hot.
Russian lady, probably fine.
Probably fine.
Not
you were
as
in a
hot
panic.
as she wasn't as hot as the Asian guy.
Wow, an Asian man for you. Okay. I like that. I like that a lot.
And so I talked to the Asian guy, and I'm like, hey, like, how do you think, what's your assessment of me? And he goes, well, the doctor wants to do like, so part of the CAT scan they wanted to do, they have to like, they fill your body up with like a fluid.
Oh, so they can see where
so
it's
they can
going
see
and stuff?
like
oh,
if you have,
God.
because he was worried about like certain clotting in my, because he's like he's like, you're taller, dude. This can easily happen to you at any time.
It's finally happening.
So I'm
The
just like,
reign of terror.
so now I'm like, oh my God, like, so now but again, the nurse was like, because honestly, I think you're fine, but here's,
Oh,
but
God. And your neurotic mind is just going
He's
a
like,
million miles an hour.
but don't
right
you want to
now.
be better safe than sorry? I mean, he's like, we can do these tests and then you'll know. He's like,
He's right.
He's like, you have to sign a waiver that says that you basically consent to knowing what we're telling you, and then if you drop dead in a few hours, we're not liable. And I'm like, oh my God, you gotta say that, dude.
And you're like, are the Eagles up?
The hot Asian guy is like, he's like, this is kind of like what you're looking at. I go,
I mean, he's right. You might as well survive with a heavy medical bill than die.
right. So I'm freaking out. I'm like, all right, dude, this guy convinces me to stay. Kind of.
God.
I'm like, all right.
This is how your brain works. If a hotter person tells you to do something, you do it.
Dude. So then,
if a blonde woman came in and said, "Get out of here, pussy," you would have left.
I swear to God, this is all true.
I believe it.
I go, all right, I'll stay. Whatever. Better safe than sorry. He goes, okay, we'll get your blood taken. 10 minutes later, a gal walks in. She goes, hi, I'm a medical
Is this
student.
a third different person?
Different person. Everyone's just taking stabs at me, just like to give me, I don't know.
Uh-huh.
She goes, hey, I'm a medical student. I'm here to take your blood.
Hot?
I go, probably 5.
Okay. Not good enough for you.
She takes a stab at me, botches the blood draw.
Oh,
like, dude,
that
completely
sucks.
botches it. Like basically hits, doesn't
Hits bone.
doesn't get near a vein.
Oh, I've had that happen. That sucks.
Like I'm like in pain, and then in that moment, I'm just like, I'm looking, I don't know how many thousands of dollars this is. I'm probably fine. I go, you know what? Get my Asian nurse, get the Asian guy. I don't.
Did you say that?
No, I was
Did
like,
you say
no.
get Chow
No,
back here or
no,
something?
No, I was like, get my nurse, and he goes, and so he walks in. He's like, hey, is everything all right? I go, honestly, dude, I'm freaking. I gotta get out. I'm probably fine. I go, are you gonna charge me whatever? He goes, no, you haven't signed anything. You're fine.
No.
He goes, don't worry. He goes, you can leave. We can't keep you against your against your will. That's kind of the hospital rules. If you want to leave, you can leave. I go, okay, all right, fine, I'll leave. I fucking,
God, you leave? So you are dining and dashing a little bit.
I write out on the consent form. I consent.
You signed the thing like, if I die, I won't hold you medically liable.
I live 2 blocks away. I walk out. I say bye to I gave my Asian nurse a fist pound. I said, thanks for everything, man. I walk back into my room. My roommates are watching the game. There's nachos. There's beer. There's a bunch of wings.
If you immediately start drinking a beer, I'll kill you.
I walk in, and my buddies they go, hey, like, are you all right? How you feeling? I go, dude, I walked out. I'm probably fine. They're like, you just didn't you didn't want to take the test just to make sure or whatever. I go, it probably would have been a lot of money. They're like, yeah, you're right. And you can also see a cardiologist, if you want, later in the week. I was like, yeah, I'm probably fine. And then just a silence, not a silence, but just my anxiety just starts, like a tidal wave comes over me. And I'm standing there and I'm having a legitimate panic attack.
Finally. I think this is good for you, honestly.
In my apartment, I'm going, I should have stayed. I should have gotten...
Yeah, of course.
I should have gotten the fucking test.
What are you doing? You don't have to pay medical bills. I'm dodging 19 different hospitals right now.
I'm freaking out. And I'm like... I'm just like Pat was like, "Are you okay, dude?" Because
Did you start
I started punching shit. I was like, "What was I thinking?"
You're punching the walls.
I'm punching. I'm like, I'm a fucking idiot.
My god.
I'm like, I can't believe I didn't stay. They're like, dude, you don't have to. You just see another doctor this week. I'm like, no. I could the guy said I could drop dead in 5 hours.
Oh my god! So you just had an existential crisis yesterday.
I literally, dude, I'm shaking. I'm shaking.
Did you go back then?
I go back.
Oh my god!
I walk.
This is like when I got mugged and went back to the guy.
I walk back.
It's the same thing.
I walk into a legitimate hospital to the
You're
ER.
Hey, it's me again.
I walk up to the security guard and I go, "Hey man, I forgot my jacket." He goes, "All right." He goes, "All right." I'm like, and I walk by him and go, "How the fuck did that just work?"
Wait, that was your plan to get back into the hospital?
I walk up to the security guy and say, "Hey, sorry." He saw me 10 minutes ago. So I go, "Hey, sorry, I forgot my jacket." He goes, "All right." I walk in. And I walk up, I walk up to I literally beeline to my nurse. He goes, "How did you get back in?" And I go, "Hey man," and I literally didn't answer his question. I go, "I'm so sorry, dude. I will cooperate with whatever you want me to do. I'll be here for the next 10 hours. Just test whatever you got to test." And he goes, we haven't refilled, we haven't filled your bed. Your stuff's all there. Just hop back in and we'll restart your testing.
Just doing a mulligan, basically.
Yeah, that's all right.
Let's try again.
And then then they close my curtain. I hear another guy walk by. He goes, "Who just let that guy back in here?"
They have a deranged, tall Balkan man.
My Asian nurse. I swear to God, I just I called him my nurse, but I didn't know his name. I forgot his name.
Yeah.
I heard him say, he goes this is to the head doctor there. He goes, yeah, he came back. He lives a block away. I think he has anxiety. I swear to God.
Finally, does this finally hit home with you? Maybe.
So I hear them have they're 10 feet from me, but my shit's close.
Yes.
I hear them have a 5-minute meeting about if it's legal to have just let me back in.
You're on the run, kind of. You're
they're well, technically he should have
entering.
gone through the triage again. He needs to sign stuff again. Technically, he needs to pay again for this. Is technically his second visit. And they go, and then my nurse is he's going to bat for me. He's like, "It's only been 10 minutes. He was really flustered. He's got to take all these testing. It's not a big deal. We have all this stuff ready to go."
I think I remember him from March Madness.
Yeah,
actually.
I think he had 2 points, 3 assists against Xavier in 2012. And he goes, and the head doctor, is like, whatever. He's like, things are slow. Let's go through with it.
Thank God. Dude. And then did you finally get the tests you deserve?
Got the blood work. I got the
3 tests, 3 hours apart. What did
got
you
them all
do
done.
for 9 hours at the hospital?
So then I go to take my CAT scan.
Mm-hmm.
The guy who's who's testing for the CAT scans, that's just his job. That's he's the CAT scan technician. He looks at me. He goes, "Where's your bracelets?" I go, oh, I
So
don't
you
think I
really
got. I don't think I got one because I escaped.
Yeah.
I escaped and took off my bracelet. I go, oh, I never got one. He goes, I've never seen someone not have a bracelet as long as I've worked here.
You look like you broke into a hospital to get a free
I'm
CAT
not even
scan.
wearing the gown. I'm wearing my Minnesota basketball tee. I swear to God.
They didn't put you in the whatever they call it, the smock?
No, I because I took the smock off.
Oh my, and they didn't give you a new one.
They
They're
didn't
like,
give me
he'll
a new
probably
one.
leave
They
again.
were just like,
We don't-
whatever. Like,
we don't
this
wanna-
guy's a fugitive. And the guy's like, I've never seen someone not have bracelets on as long as I've worked here. And I was like, yeah, man. Then they give away. He goes, all right, whatever. He goes, so here's what we're going to do. They shoot me up with the stuff, the coloring, take the tests. 7
Is it weird
hours.
you go in this tunnel? What happens? I've never done
So
that.
the way they described it to me was the amount of, they go like, you have to sign off because it's radiation.
Oh, okay.
They're like, so the radiation, the way they say it is, it's like the amount is if you were a flight attendant for 6 months. That's how they put
yeah,
it.
because when you're higher up in the atmosphere, you get more radiation.
So he's like, it's that much
Oh.
radiation. And I was like, yeah, whatever, dude. It's like,
What a bizarre.
was like-
what does that mean?
I was
even?
like, I can't leave again.
yeah.
So
I'm actually out. The
yeah, I
radiation's
can't
too
actually.
much.
So they do that. I'm basically, I'm scrolling TikTok. I'm on like Twitter. Dude, it's the ER is
Yeah,
is
ER
such
is
an
scary
intense.
because people are dying.
There was
someone dying.
the guy next to me OD'd on heroin.
Jesus Christ! Because the Eagles lost.
I don't know.
Come on.
or sorry, he didn't die, but he was being treated for heroin. And these I realized that like a lot of like the medical staff, like the nurses and et cetera, like they don't use medical terms. Like they'll just, if something goes down, they'll just be like, Robbie's shitting over here. Like
What did
he's
you
shitting
think
again.
they were gonna say?
I don't know, extricating
His
or whatever.
stool is exiting the body.
Yeah,
or
I don't know.
whatever.
And they like also talk shit to the heroin addict next to me. They were like talking shit to him. They're like,
course.
they're like, you shit yourself. Now we got to put you in a diaper. How does it feel? How does it feel as an adult to be in a diaper?
They said
You're
that.
in a man, yeah, they're like,
Oh,
you're
that's bad.
They're like, you're in a man diaper now, and I'm just like, God damn, the guy's like fucking on the brink of death. Like, just put the diaper on him and let it go.
I mean, if you ever put a diaper on an adult, I would talk a little shit.
There
too.
was a doctor, so someone who was supposed to transport me from the CAT scans. There's a guy who has that's like their job or whatever, to like run people around.
Oh yeah, sure.
And the nurse who's checking people in was talking to the technician so much shit about that runner. She's like, he's so bad, isn't he? He fucking sucks. Like he can't get anything right. He never puts people in the right places.
See, this is the part of Grey's Anatomy they don't show.
They don't
never show.
they don't
that.
show the shit
It's just
talk.
a workplace in the end. They hate each other.
Really
of course.
wild, dude.
Yeah, they're not just professional and courteous all the
No,
time.
and nobody's hot. Besides my doctor. My
That
doctor
nurse?
was.
And
my
I
nurse-
thought the nurse was hot.
But yeah, my Asian.
Oh,
nurse.
the nurse or
The guy,
doctor.
the
Okay,
guy, he
yeah,
was
yeah.
hot.
Okay, yeah.
And
So what's the conclusion of these tests? What happens? Or you don't know yet?
clean my troponin levels were fine. CAT scan came back fine. They diagnosed me
With anxiety.
chest pain.
With just chest pain of what you already knew you had.
I got to follow up with the cardiologist
Oh
this week.
my god! They didn't say at all. It could be anxiety related.
No.
Or like drinking. Did you mention? Oh, I was on a kind of a 5-day bender.
The bender wasn't that bad. A part of me was
Okay.
thinking as I was in the bed, I was like, I might be starting like in these later years, not these in my 30s. Last couple
later,
years.
are you that? You think you're that close to death? You're calling these your later years?
I was correcting myself.
Okay.
In these first couple years
of
of my
more
30s.
positive.
These first couple years of my 30s. Maybe I'm starting to get some heartburn. Maybe.
Oh, have you never had heartburn? Because heartburn can feel like a heart
I've
attack.
never had heartburn.
Oh, you
in
just
my
had
life.
really bad heart. I thought
I was
that
putting jardinera on my pizza all weekend, and I had I was having comedy bar pizza.
If you have a $17,000 medical bill because you had heartburn, that will be interesting. And that's why we need you more than ever, Patreon
I mean, dog,
subscribers.
I broke into the ER.
I know. I've done this exact same thing before from having a panic attack. I thought I had a heart attack in New York.
Yeah.
And I went to the hospital and it was just anxiety. The brain can do crazy things. The brain can make you believe crazy shit.
Yeah, but I woke up with this pain.
That could be your brain. Your brain can make you believe you're having a heart attack.
You'll never believe that I have a real chest problem.
I legitimately did this same thing because I had anxiety. Panic attacks. Let's look. I bet the number one symptom of panic attack is thinking you have a heart attack. I bet that is a top 3 symptom of panic attack. I would love to see this. Shaking, rapid, irregular heartbeat, sweating, dizziness, breathless. It's all right there.
Mine was the sharpness, though.
How is
in
that
the chest?
That's. But look at how many
it
of
wasn't
those.
necessarily like the rapid heart. Oh, they did 2 EKG. So that's what they have to do. They have to take your EKG.
Sense of impending doom, rapid pounding heart rate, shortness of breath, hot flashes, trembling or shaking. Seems a little familiar to what you've been describing.
The most panicked I was when I was in flux at the ER and my heart wasn't hurting then though.
Okay. You could go away. Yeah.
But when I was at my most panicked, it wasn't hurting, which is odd.
I mean, I don't know everything about panic attacks, but you don't think the anxiety has anything, and alcohol causes anxiety also, so you'd be even weaker after a few days of not taking care of yourself.
Maybe, but dude,
you're not even gonna consider anxiety medicine.
We'll see what the cardiologist says.
Oh my god!
I've got my I
can't believe it.
I got back to the apartment at 3 a.m.
You did? Were the boys waiting for you?
No,
they weren't.
But it was just like, man, it was like, just to be like, because it was like I've had worse experiences than that.
I mean, that's pretty rough, though. That's rough.
No, just physically with what I woke up with, I was like, I've had a couple things, but not much worse. That was like top 5.
Yeah.
Worst chest pains.
Could have been acid reflux. Bad acid reflux hurts. It feels
but it was,
right there.
Yeah, but this was like localized, like.
Yeah,
lower left.
That doesn't really seem like acid reflux has much.
Right,
but,
and that's why I didn't think it was heartburn, because isn't heartburn supposed to be here?
Yeah, it's like right in your chest.
My shit was like over here.
Could have
so
just been muscle pain that just happened to be by your heart. Yeah.
That's what the nurse said it could have been possibly too.
Okay, interesting. The saga of Alex and his anxiety-induced medical hallucinations. Interesting.
We'll see what the New York cardiologist at Mount Sinai says.
Is that? When are you going?
I got to set that up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, get that set up. Okay.
Yeah, man.
We got it. I'm not getting a co-host if you die. I'm continuing on solo. I just want that to be known.
That's okay.
It's turning into the Tim Dillon show if you're gone. I'm just ranting about the liberals. That's what I'm doing.
But other than that,
what do we follow up? But other than that, didn't do much. Is that what you're gonna say?
No, I did some other stuff.
I don't know what we follow up that story with. That would be tough to follow with that.
All right. Well, let's get back to some lighter stuff.
Yeah, that was a great story. I really enjoyed that.
All right. Had a pretty good time in Chicago. Good friend,
except for the going to the ER.
Well, I was
in New York technically, but yeah.
Chicago was kind of lights out.
You
really
had no
fun time.
inkling of any pain before waking up at 5 a.m.
Absolutely not.
Wow.
Actually, the maybe Friday morning, or maybe Thursday morning, I woke up. I got off Tom's couch. I was like, oh fuck, that kind of hurt. So, but then it went away. I don't know.
Interesting.
Okay. So Chicago was good.
Yeah,
Thursday,
you were there a whole week, weren't you? Yeah.
Yeah. Thursday was a really good time. Our friends Michael Longfellow.
Oh yeah,
and Devin Walker, SNL guys, were doing colleges in Illinois.
Oh shit! Oh, you got to hang out with them.
So they were like, "Hey, we're in Chicago. Can we any shows we can do?" So I was like, "Oh, okay, fuck yeah." So they hopped on my comedy bar. I was headlining comedy bar.
You had 2 guys on SNL just do guest spots on your show. That's fun.
So then they hopped on. They did guesties, and then so did the headliner for the weekend. So I had 3 guest spots, and then the feature.
Yeah.
And then I went up.
And
but
you did great. Heard you cooked a little bit.
It was actually very fun.
Yeah.
It was actually really good.
Good.
And then I told Mike and Devin to go to Tight Ship after.
Oh yeah.
So
Half Sour, a great show in Chicago.
Probably the best show, if not, or one of the best shows.
Indie show in Chicago.
That or Humboldt.
Yeah.
And so I met up with them at Half Sour. we drink, have a good time. Go up to Zany's to meet up with Jamie and Lucas.
Whoa, Jamie Wolf and Lucas Zelnick.
Jamie Wolf,
also
Lucas
in town.
Zelnick. So
Friends of the pod.
So we're all in the green room getting
all 5 of you.
Yeah.
That's a good hang.
It was a great hang.
That's a good
We're
hang.
making Gerard make us pizzas. Gerard Malloy, shout out.
6'6" god who works
He's
at
making us
Zany's
pizzas
Comedy
and
Club.
nachos. He's one of the best there is. Such a
hot, tall guy. Like, you're tall. You're not hot. He's hot and tall.
If he was 6'1", he'd be hot.
If he was 3'5", he'd be hot.
Yeah.
He's a hot guy. Gerard's a hot guy. Sorry, Gerard.
He couldn't be a hobbit because he's too attractive.
He would find a way to be tall.
Well, they wouldn't cast him.
Yeah. You can't have
He's
too hot of a hobbit.
symmetrically
Frodo had
gifted.
his moments.
Maybe, but still.
Come on.
So then we're hanging out in the green room, having a good time. We go to the ale house after.
Wow.
And it was just like a nice. And then me, Tom, Lucas, Jamie.
Who's Tom? Oh, Tom Knight. Your college buddy. Oh, yeah.
The boy. We go. We're walking around Old Town at like 1:30, just looking for some food. Old Town doesn't have food late until the weekends.
So
we check like 4 places. They're all closed
because of COVID. Every place they don't serve food late anymore. Yeah.
We finally go all the way down to Division. Go to the Papa John's.
Jesus.
It's 12:59 or whatever. I'm like literally right there. They're closed. They're giving me the hey, no. They're giving me the no sign, like
for sure.
No
and
pizza.
you don't take no for an answer.
I'm like, I just got it. We're so disheveled.
Are you the guy banging? Please.
No, I didn't bang. I didn't bang.
Thank God.
But I do put my hands on my knees and I'm like, this fucking sucks. This is tough, you know. I got my boys in town. Can't even get them a slice.
You seem sadder about this than the ER. Honestly, this is sticking with you.
I was completely distraught. Then
there has to be a resolution to this story.
Guy walks out and he goes, "Hey, would you guys be okay with taking some pizzas off our hands?" I was like,
extra pizzas they made.
I was like, "Are you kidding?" He goes, "We got 4 larges if you want them."
What?
Yeah.
What a steal.
He goes, just take them. See, Jeff, I actually know how to tell a story.
I'm not good at telling stories.
There better be a resolution. Yeah, I know exactly how.
I would say you're great at it.
I'm getting to it.
You've had some duds on here before.
Well, yeah, just let me rock a little bit.
Yeah, okay. You've been having a monologue for 30 straight minutes.
So then we go back to Tom's, eat pizza, and listen to tunes until 3 a.m.
That sounds really
Jamie
fun.
and Lucas wanted to stay up, man. Those boys can really go.
Jamie and Lucas they're great. They're great guys.
I did a guestie on Lucas' show. Dude, their crowds were great. They sold out like 8 shows.
Yeah, I know. They're cooking. They're really doing well.
So, yeah, those guys rock.
They loved you. Those college girls were all about you.
Cooked.
Yeah.
Cooked.
Nice.
And then guess what happens? So this is Saturday, 4 p.m. on Saturday.
You have a, what, is it a medical thing?
Guess what happens at 4 p.m. on Saturday?
On Saturday. Georgia texts you.
Georgia texts me.
Georgia on my mind.
How the fuck did you nail that?
I don't know. That was pretty amazing, actually.
Did you hear that through the grapevine?
No, I did not. I actually the way you said it, I knew it was romantic, and I knew it probably wasn't squeezed, and so I guessed it had to have been Georgia.
She says, "Hey, are you still in town?"
Wow, at 4 p.m. Do you have a little rendezvous?
We had a mid-afternoon pre-show rendezvous.
You had sex at 5 p.m.?
Sure.
Yeah. Wow.
Hey.
You dog. You bulldog.
I don't want to say exactly what happened.
You can say you had sex. It's not a big deal.
Okay. But
that's too TMI now.
All right.
Okay.
We hung out for a couple hours.
Wow.
It's very interesting.
The bag's still in play, huh? Interesting.
Here's the thing. People say this. They're like, yeah, don't see your exes. You can't see your exes.
Sure.
It's like, you know what, dude? I live in New York. She lives there. It's like, I think we're at that point where we kind of know. I don't know. It's like there's no more like, are we gonna get back to you? There's no like more.
Yeah, I think after
you know what I'm
Ted
saying?
Lasso gate, you're not really worried about getting
It's
back
not
with her.
you know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
exactly.
I don't know. I just think it's like if there's.
You're allowed to be mature adults and just dump a load or two, and then hey, bye.
If in
See
that
you
moment
6
in
months.
time, you're just like, who would I most want to be with? Sometimes you gotta live in the moment, people.
That's who you would most want to be with in the world.
Well, just at that moment.
At that moment at 4 p.m. in
course.
Chicago, that's not bad. Yeah,
She's a great gal. She's the best,
Wow.
man.
Dang, you didn't invite her to the show?
I don't think she
You
wanted
gave
to go
her
to
a
the
show. You gave her 20.
She's
Nice.
not. She hasn't been to a show since we broke up.
Yeah, she never really seemed like the comedy type, honestly.
I knew. Don't shit on her, dude.
I didn't
Come
say
on.
that was good or bad. She just didn't like comedy. It's not for everyone. Some people don't like it.
she mentioned she's like one thing she said, she's like she loved the whole crew, but then she like just said had a subtle dig at Kennedy. She was like, Matt was kind of cold to me for some reason. Yeah.
Not me. Good. Okay. I thought you were gonna go in on
No,
me
she
there
liked
for a
you.
second. Oh, she
Which
didn't
I
like
couldn't
Uncle
believe.
Matt. Okay.
But yeah, Uncle Matt, she was like, he was kind of cold.
So is that why you had a little heart trauma? You were a little lovesick.
Maybe I'm heartbroken.
Yeah,
Maybe
it might be.
Which honestly, you can't get on a CAT scan. You can't find that on a CAT scan.
You can't catch the emotional longing on a CAT scan.
Maybe I'm a little heartbroken.
Doesn't matter how many years you went to Cornell, you can't catch a man who needs fulfillment from a woman. It doesn't matter.
Guys, the heart wants what the heart wants.
Selena Gomez. It's a great song.
Is that
The Heart Wants What It Wants, a classic Selena Gomez track.
And maybe that's why I was in pain.
I could see that. You had a couple rendezvous. How many times do you guys have sex before the big show? Give her two rounds.
Just
Go, you pussy.
Relax.
Come on.
I didn't have a second condom on me.
Oh, right. You got to wear condoms these days. Yeah.
I mean, we're not,
Yeah, you're not animals. Yeah.
We're not together.
I know my cum is retarded, so I've never really thought to put a condom on. I know those boys don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, but
I'm
it's
not
just
worried.
Like, it's just like, but no, it's like we're not together. You don't know.
No,
who
I
people are
know.
doing with.
I'm kidding. Of course. Yeah, you should wear a condom. Yeah.
Yeah. So
nice. Good for you.
I don't know, dude.
Sounds like you had a lot of good and a lot of bad. I'm glad it evened out.
I can't find that in the White Cough emergency room.
Were you flying high Saturday night and then you just bottomed out Sunday? Like after the week in Chicago, you're like, because you go back to Chicago, we're kings, kind of.
It's amazing.
We're like
people
top dog in the comedy scenes.
You know, people come up to you, they're like, man, like no one's got your cadence. You're like your style on stage is so, it's like, oh my god, get the fuck away.
Who was lying to you like that?
I got a couple compliments like that. They're like, your voice is like,
wow.
People talk about that. I'm like, oh my god.
No one has ever broken down a bad first date like you, Alex. No one's ever done it.
The pause. People just can't seem to get enough of the pause.
Do people really mention the pauses?
Well, no, it's the cadence.
Yeah, cadence. Yeah. They love the pause. They like when you're not talking. That's interesting.
Yeah, they like that. Yeah, they like when you don't go, my grandpa said something racist. My grandpa said something racist. And I was like, Grandpa, that's stupid.
That's actually bad to be racist.
Can you believe you're in front of the Comedy Cellar? Can you believe my grandpa said something awful?
You know what actually happened to me? You'll like this. I opened a set by doing this joke about the dating app Hinge because I have a joke where I'm like, you can filter your matches by race on Hinge.
Yeah.
And this white girl, like in the second row, just yells, "That's racist!" And then she kept like yelling, like, "That's racist" or "That's sexist" during every one of my jokes.
Yeah.
And I just had to tear her apart. It was an incredible moment.
How'd it go?
I had a great time.
Yeah.
I got a little too angry a couple times, but it was a great time mostly.
Very good.
It really was fun. And she was on a first date with this guy, and they eventually got kicked out after my set. And then she shoulder checked the manager on the way out. And then another patron stands up and starts screaming at her, "You fucking bitch.
Oh my
You ruined the
God.
show for everyone. Now you're hitting the manager."
Wow.
And then 20 minutes later, the guy comes back and is like, "She left her purse here. This is the worst first date of my life."
Yeah.
Kind of an amazing story.
Dude, when I was doing, I have like that chunk about like getting dominated or whatever, like the like weird sex stuff. One girl I have that point where I ask people like what they're into sometimes. One girl front row said she's into sounding. Have you ever heard of sounding?
Is it a sexual thing? Sounding? Yeah. Where you like sound like another animal? Let me guess.
No.
You sound like their mom or something?
I don't think you're gonna get
I have no idea. I have no idea. What does that mean?
It's where you put a small metal rod through the guy's urethra.
Oh!
And like he's into
like
that.
a catheter type thing?
Yeah, like he's into that kind of pain. I'm like, is your boyfriend like a geriatric? Like what is going on?
Wait, what happened? You just put it in there and then like that they're
apparently
in
the
pain?
guy likes that. Can you look up sound? Yeah,
you know about
urethral
urethral sounding. The pursuit of sexual satisfaction has led to an emerging practice among men known as urethral sounding. It involves inserting a glass or metal object or fluid into the urethra. It enhances sexual pleasure by encouraging your partner to explore your penis in several ways.
I mean, dude, it's the wildest shit.
They're not doctors. I don't want someone with dirty hands putting a damn metal rod up my fucking penis. I don't.
The people at the comedy bar were just
Do
completely
they come?
distraught.
Is it like a straw that you then come through, or is it a solid metal tube?
I should have asked for the deets, but people were so grossed out.
I mean, I am grossed out.
Oh,
Oh
hell no.
It's like an anal. It's like beaded. Oh, it's like ribbed for his pleasure. Oh no. Oh, there's one that's shaped like a penis that you put up the penis. That's too much for me. I'm sorry. I know I support most types of sexual proclivities, but that is evil. If you're a diagram of it. Oh, and then so it is a stopper at the end, so you're not coming. So like it probably stops the cum from coming out, and that like is satisfying or something. Oh
Yeah.
my God,
absolutely brutal.
that is disgusting. Actually, my girlfriend told me, Bobby Knight told me about a new one the kids are doing called iglooing, where. I think this is more of a joke one than a real one, but it's where you shit in a condom and then you put it in the freezer and then you use that as a dildo.
Oh no, dude.
What is the Russian torpedo? Is this the same thing?
That was like an old Urban Dictionary thing.
Oh,
I
was that?
remember.
Oh, really? Is that what it's called? It was called the Russian torpedo. That's so funny.
No, that's intense.
That's urban. Let me look at the Russian torpedo. To take an 8-inch to 10-inch solid shit and carefully place it into the freezer. Once frozen solid, the turd is also used as a dildo.
I like how it's like it's
love
got to be
those.
Russian for some reason.
Yeah.
It's like the grossest country you can.
Yeah,
think
that's
of.
what the Russians do. That's amazing. What were the other ones? Like Cleveland Steamer was another one.
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
Dirty Sanchez and all those. Well, the steamer. Yeah, and the.
Why do you think it was a Boston
Trojan
steamer?
helmet.
The what was it?
The Trojan helmet.
What was that one?
And then you put the dick on their face.
Oh, really? You put the
Jesus.
balls and dick on their face? Incredible. We
Have
are
you- have you ever-
such disturbed people.
Have you ever,
I love
have you ever
it.
titty fucked?
I have not done that. No, I don't really understand what the. It seems like you're missing where the penis should go.
It really didn't do much for
Why
me.
not just? There's the mouth. We already have the mouth, the hand, and the pussy, possibly the butt. I don't see why we need the canal between the tits as well. I
I've
don't
tried it a couple
understand.
times. Never really.
I don't really.
got
Are
off to
they
it.
laying on their back and then you're kind of on top, or what is the? I don't even know what the logistics are. Are they on top of you, or what was your experience?
if
I've
I
never
recall,
done that.
She was basically like she got up in a different. She was basically like as if she was giving me a blowjob, but then just kind of put her tits instead.
I don't understand that. Not for me.
I
Not for me.
think yeah.
Seems like I love a good titty, love two of them even, but I don't think that's what they should be used for. I think that's wrong. It's a waste of
Getting
time.
off of sex for a second.
Okay.
Back to our our bet. It's
oh,
almost over tomorrow.
Is that tomorrow? Is that Valentine's Day? Did you make it? I thought
Yeah.
Chicago might kill you.
My parents and I we met
Maybe
up.
that's the heart problems. You haven't had beer in a month. That
Yeah.
could be it.
I miss it
Okay.
too. Yeah, I'm heartbroken.
Damn it!
Dude.
Do I have to pay you
I miss
$100?
I miss my ex. I miss beer.
You know what? I'll do it. I'll Venmo you $100 right now. I trust that you'll make it. You still have to go through midnight tomorrow, but
my favorite beer. My mom.
what beer are you having when it ends?
I-
You
well,
hear what I said? Midnight tomorrow.
Yeah.
You got to go through midnight. I'm paying you $100 right now. This is incredibly painful, and I hate that I brought you joy.
So not
I hate
until
that.
So not until Wednesday.
Yeah, on Wednesday morning or at midnight, and tomorrow you could have one with whoever you're sharing Valentine's Day with, which is probably no one because you're loveless.
I know.
I had to get that one on you. I'll give you $100. What's this for? I'll just say winning the damn bet.
I
This
know.
sucks.
You-
$100, and I lost $100 on the Eagles last night.
I met
God
up with
damn
my
it.
parents at this German place. My dad loves German food because he was like over there when he was stationed in Germany for the army.
Or
shit.
because they were allies of Serbia in World War II. I think that might have a little to do with it.
and so we met up, and my dad was like, "What's your favorite beer?" He's like, "I want to try it."
Oh, no. Did you have to tell him I'm having a dumb bet with my podcast
I was
host?
looking my favorite beer in the world in the face.
What
and I had to
beer?
say, the Julius Ector.
Oh, okay. That sounds
We
great.
used to get that at Last Hits all the time, and my man,
Wow.
I had to be like, no, I'm not drinking right now.
Did you tell your dad? Well, you didn't want to tell him why?
My mom was like, let's just cheers, just take a sip with us. And I had to be like, can't.
You couldn't tell them why?
I'm not going to tell them about our bed. No.
Yeah, you'd have to tell them what a podcast is then.
Yeah, I had to be like.
You have to explain what Patreon is.
Yeah.
And it's called the R-word tier, you know.
Yeah.
We're 63 episodes N-word free, and your dad's like, you went that long without saying it?
I know. He's like, I can't believe it.
He's like, I never went that long. That's crazy.
So,
boy.
So yeah, I literally haven't had a sip of beer.
Can I, in our final minutes, can we talk about my weekend? Or is that allowed?
Yeah, what have you
Is
been
that
up
allowed? Okay. What are we allowed? Am
to? I told you I had a big story.
It was a good story. You know what? I was a little skeptical. I thought it was going to be something like, the burger I had wasn't as good as I wanted it to be. But, it was a great little story.
The ER was 20 minutes.
That was a crazy story, and I'm sure there'll be more updates to it as you go to the doctor again, right?
Yeah, I got to see how the East Coast cardiologists are.
I mean, but you're fine today.
I feel okay today. I mean, it still feels like tender. Like it feels a little bit like, tender.
Do you maybe get like fucking hit or something?
No.
Georgia didn't give you a fucking 1-2?
No.
This is what you got for moving to New York,
No,
bitch.
no matter how many times I asked her to hit me, she wouldn't do it.
Wait, so you don't know anything about the Super Bowl then? Have you caught up, kind of?
I just know that there was a holding that basically decided the...
Yeah, there was a bad defensive holding at the end.
How many yards did they lose on the holding?
It wasn't the yard. Well, I mean, it's an automatic first down. It's only a 5-yard penalty, I think, right? But it was automatic first on
what down
3rd
was
and 8.
It, on third?
It was on 3rd. It would have been...
Oh, my God.
No, it would have been 3rd and 8, or it would have been 4th down.
Let's talk about this with Tucker.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah, well, okay, we'll wait till our Patreon episode, which, of course, you can only see if you're a member of the Patreon. And what are the 3 tiers again, Alex? It's a good time to refresh the listeners on this.
God tier.
No, that is not one of them. He missed shooting the water bottle.
Moron?
Well, that is the $3 tier is idiot, I believe. Or is it moron?
Idiot, moron, then re...
R word.
R word.
We will call you a retard unless you are part of the R word tier.
Bad
That's
girl
the deal.
Riri.
Bad girl Riri. We'll talk about the halftime show on the Patreon as well. I have some thoughts about it. I thought it fucking sucked, honestly.
Uh-oh.
That was one of the worst halftime shows in recent memory, honestly.
Is it...
What?
Why is that?
Well, we're going to talk about it on the Patreon. I can't talk about it to these plebeian scum who don't pay us each week.
Yeah.
And, of course, we got 5 new R-word people we're going to shout out. We got a lot of them last week. We're very excited about that. We got Scott Lott. Scott, welcome to the team. Scott,
welcome, baby.
Scott's Tots, one of the best Office episodes. God, that episode. Remember that episode?
No.
Okay, never mind. You're not an Office guy, really.
Not a ton.
Really?
That was fine.
We can agree about The Simpsons, though, right?
Simpsons is I think The Simpsons is probably 5 times better than The Office.
Okay, yeah, I would say The Simpsons is the greatest comedy of all time, besides South Park, which is just The Simpsons on cable, but it's great. It is. It's just The Simpsons. The Simpsons would have done the same thing if they could have said that stuff, don't you think? But I love South Park, too. I think they're very similar. They're great. T. Hollywood, thank you for joining.
The Simpsons is a little more academic.
Yeah, but they had to because they couldn't say like fag 43 times like South Park did.
Oh, okay.
Which is, I love South Park. I think those guys are geniuses in their own right as well. We got, I can't read my handwriting now. This is terrible. I think it says Sam Beller.
Sam.
If I got that wrong, Sam, I'll Venmo you $1. I think it says Beller. I actually can't read my own handwriting. We got Ken Fisher as well.
Kenny.
And then we have someone who signed up under the name Alcoholic Space Heater. You got to love that.
Wow.
I agree with that.
That's
I like
so
that.
funny.
We love you guys. Thank you. Also,
much
I posted asking the people if they liked when I'm high on the podcast. Everyone said they love when I'm high on the podcast. And a couple of people said you were acting like a boomer.
Really?
Yeah, a couple of people said you had boomer vibes for hating on my high.
Well, guys, if you come to a show, I will fist fight you in the street. Believe that.
Okay, you will not. You're not a fighter at all.
Unless
you'd
you're
be like, oh, chest pain. Oh,
honestly.
God, how long is this going to delay our 1v1 game now?
Yeah, no, seriously.
He's never going to do it. He's never going to do it.
Jeff, I went to the ER.
His heart, I've been to the ER many times in the last few years. It don't matter. I'm still down to ball. I don't care. I was in the ER a year ago for an anxiety thing.
I sincerely have a worry that it's like that I'm playing out on the courts and it's just like my ticker just gives
I
out.
guarantee you they'll come back and it'll be fine. I will say this, 90% it's anxiety. I will say that. I guarantee that's what it is.
We'll see what the
I hope that I think you should get anxiety meds. Everyone should try it, honestly, but you should try it out. Huh.
Okay,
Yeah.
we'll see.
Just something. Yeah.
I want some Xanax.
Yeah, that's an anxiety
Tomorrow
medicine
night
they
at
can
midnight,
give you.
I'm going to drink wine and get Xanax.
That is the worst thing you could do. That'd be terrible. Go for it.
Doesn't it slow down your heart?
I've never really done Xanax.
Maybe a little too
honestly.
much.
Have you done Xanax, Fonz?
Talk to me about Xanny Fonz.
Yeah, you'll just wake up like in a jail cell because you're trying to get into your neighbor's house and steal their jewelry.
With a Philly accent, I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, you start talking like a telco accent.
Yo,
Yo, dude.
Yo, dude.
That holding call was bullshit. Damn, that's funny.
Yeah.
Let me briefly talk about my time. I was in Fargo, North Dakota. It was great. Have you ever been to Fargo? Oh, yeah, we went over this at the beginning.
Never,
You have not,
no.
but they will book you soon. Fargo is an incredible town. This guy, you know my famous jacket I wear on stage? That terrible insurance salesman jacket that you hate?
I don't hate. I think it's the only thing that you look good in.
It was my favorite piece of clothing, but after the show, a guy said, "How much will you sell that for?" And I said, $80. And he handed me $80, and the era of the jacket ended, folks. I had to give up the jacket for
Jeff,
$80.
You're not going to top that for a while.
I am feeling a little foolish. I wish I would have had a Plan B jacket before I sold it, but I was given the jacket for free by a crazy lady. So,
Oh, wow.
do you remember that story? I don't know if I want to say it because she might listen. I don't think she does. That crazy woman who snuck into the Kyle Kinane shows at the Pilsen Theater. What's this theater in Pilsen?
Oh, Talia Hall.
Talia Hall. This crazy fan snuck into the backstage claiming she was a comedian and like annoyed Kyle Kinane the whole show. But then
Wow.
she drove up to my shows in northern Wisconsin and knit me and the host a hat and then bought me 2 jackets and just gave them to me along with a fake $100 bill. And it was bizarre. But the jacket was kind of fire, but I finally sold it for $80. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, you wore that all the time.
I wore it all the time, but you know what? New era, new me, you know?
A good shirt is hard to find, man.
A good shirt is hard to find. And then we were also, I don't want to say the restaurant or the people. They were great people, but we were so we met these people at the show on Friday. This guy was the sous chef at the fanciest restaurant in Fargo, like a really 5-star restaurant in Fargo. And he was saying, "Oh, we'll get you guys. Come through tomorrow. We got you. Reservation, set it up." And he didn't say it, but it was very much implied free. It was very much implied. Why would we come otherwise?
We'll set you up means free.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not just gonna be a customer at a 5-star restaurant if it's not free. I don't have that kind of money. And so we go there. We all order the $45 duck. We get the beef tartare. We all get drinks. One guy wasn't gonna order. I'm like, oh come on, order the duck. It's free. And then at the end, we get the bill, $80 each. No, we were totally flabbergasted. All we got was 1 free shrimp.
Holy shit.
We got, you know what? They were nice people. I think the management probably kiboshed the free meal. I don't hate the people who got us in.
Yeah,
but
a sous chef can't comp.
exactly. We should have realized the sous chef can't comp, but he was a good man.
Yeah.
Great restaurant. I'm not going to name it, but it was a great restaurant.
You got to be clear about that stuff. I think the right move there is being like, oh man, I can't really afford the 5-star thing. And then,
I
and
know,
then
but
you can-
if someone's like saying we're gonna get you in, oh it's full, but we'll get you a reservation. We're obviously not just going so we can eat the food. I mean, I'm not like a foodie. I'll
Yeah,
eat
but
anything.
These people are in Fargo.
I get it. They didn't know.
They live by a different code.
I think they meant well. I hold no hate towards them. But the duck is an incredible meat.
It's so
Duck
good.
might be the best meat. I'll say it. The skin on the duck, that crispy skin is, I don't know why it's like that, but it's amazing.
When I was opening for Trevor Wallace, we got
I forgot about that.
we got duck from because he like sold out 7 shows or whatever. They were like, hey, there's a restaurant next door. You can get whatever you want from there. We got duck 3 nights in a row.
Really?
They just brought it to they brought like it was like
they brought duck to the green
they brought
room?
like a
Holy
packaged
shit.
meal from the restaurant next door. It was like duck and fries and shit. It was
Holy
awesome.
shit. I'll eat duck every day for the rest of my life. I don't know why it's so expensive. They seem to be everywhere. I've hit them with my car before.
Yeah.
I don't know why it costs so much, but it is amazing.
Some might
I don't
be
even know where the
tastier than
meat
others.
comes from on the duck. Is it just their tits? That's the only place that would have any meat.
It's kind of no. It's
Is there rib? But these were like medallion. They were
ducks
like
aren't
steak.
ducks aren't like thin. They're not like
They're
skinny.
not thick.
Hey, pull up ducks real
Yeah,
quick.
what part of the duck are we eating, Fonz?
Just look at
I gotta know what because we're not eating the wing. Oh, I would love to have foie gras one time. I would love that. Thin,
go to Images,
crispy
yeah.
skin. Oh, a full duck. I
Yeah,
would
dude, they
love
got the whole
that.
breast right there.
Okay, they got a breast and a flank and
And
an
an
abdomen.
abdomen.
Okay. They got more. They're a little thicker than I thought. A little heavy-chested ducks. Okay, kind of some. Oh, I would love to eat a whole duck on my plate.
Peking
That
duck.
would be awesome. I've never had a Peking duck before.
The Asians do it right.
I mean, Asian food is unparalleled.
Have you ever, have you not had Sun Hua in Chicago?
You know what? We went and they were like, something was like full. It was like full. We couldn't get a seat,
Oh,
so
wow,
we
that
went
sucks.
somewhere else. Yeah, Beijing roast duck. God, that
I took
looks
Maddie
amazing.
Smith there.
Oh, really?
That's great.
Oh, wow, you guys could settle the hammer there. You guys could bury the hatchet there. Yeah, settle the hammer. I don't know what that was. That was a phrase I've never said before. Okay, what else happened in Fargo? I feel like one other thing happened. Oh yeah, I just want to give a shout. So everyone. They're like, oh, why would you do a show in Fargo? They were some of the smartest, best crowds I've ever performed for. People on the east and west coast, they think that everyone in between is just a bunch of bumfuck idiots. They're great. Fargo's great.
Calling us flyover states is bullshit.
They ain't flyover states. I hate that shit. People think if you don't live in like New York, Philly, Boston, Chicago, LA, or Seattle, you're like an idiot. They're
Yeah.
great people. Fargo's great.
Dude, I really believe this. I believe Indiana people and Philly people would get along real well.
Oh yeah.
You guys are just different
absolutely.
kinds of trash. No offense, Fonz. But you guys would really bond over that kind of shit.
Philly's a little. They're not as fat. They're
What's
as
up?
fat. People in Philly are a little more in shape. Than
a little
Indiana,
bit more
for
in
sure.
shape, but it's like, it's the same amount of like Billabong hoodies,
Yeah. Indiana's a little more into heavy metal too. A little
Yeah.
more into Pantera in Indiana, but
But
yeah.
both, I mean, you guys both love basketball. You're just trash. You've got a lot of bars you can smoke inside still. It's a whole thing.
Rural white people lose their minds for heavy metal music. I did a joke about Metallica, and there was almost a riot. They quoted a Metallica song, and they were like, "Fuck yeah!" They were just going nuts. It rocked.
Yeah,
It was
rural
great.
places. Yeah, they are a little bit behind the
I
times.
said I like
but-
Bob Seger, and they thought that was the greatest thing anyone's ever said. And
Yeah.
it was awesome. We went to a VFW. If there's a VFW, you have to drink at a VFW. It's the only place to drink at. Because the Vietnam vets know how to drink. They've seen a lot, and they know how to drink away their demons. You really
The
respect
fact
them.
that because of our bet I couldn't drink beer in Chicago was the most fucked up thing you've ever done.
Oh,
to
I'm
me.
so sorry. I just sent you $100. Can I have it back? Oh, it must have been real tough for you.
No, dude.
Maybe
what-
that'll pay for your co-pay at the hospital. yeah.
That thing's gonna be fucking
And then
crazy.
remember to join the Patreon so you can help Alex out with his heart problems. He
Guys.
might need surgery, and Lord knows I ain't giving him my heart.
My
so.
chest needs it.
You need a little money. You need money. Oh, you're at the VFW. There's a cover band. Three 75-year-old men in the cover band.
Wow.
The oldest band I've ever seen. They're just playing like old like Fuel songs or like
That's
early
awesome.
late 90s like new metal, Limp
Yeah.
Bizkit. It was amazing. And these
Tool?
old, yeah, like
Yeah.
Tool kind of. It was a Pantera. It was amazing.
That's
so
sick.
I love North Dakota. You can play blackjack in the bars. It's
Yeah.
an amazing place.
No, it's good to visit.
I wouldn't want to be there for more than a week, probably, but a week is great.
Being someone who travels while living in New York is awesome.
Because it is. Yeah, it's nice to see like a smaller town because life is slower there.
I also wouldn't want to live in New York if I traveled. If I never traveled.
Oh yeah, I would not want to be.
You
stuck here.
don't want to be here for a
month
straight.
in New York is as much as I can handle, and I need a 3-day dip in like Indiana
Yeah,
or something.
definitely,
You got to
definitely.
get out to see life's a little slower some other places.
I'm getting a little better on planes too, dude. My anxiety's kind of I think it's called with like the.
I would argue,
Well-
based on the story from earlier, your anxiety is at an all-time high. But
I was
yeah.
only nervous on the plane because of the heart, but I'm getting better.
Chicken
like
or the egg,
even there, even the plane going there, just like it's exposure therapy. The more you do
Sure,
something,
yeah.
I'm just like okay.
My
like,
girlfriend Bobby Knight does that with people all the time. She could maybe get a client right here.
Yeah, I'd be like, hey,
You should do a little therapy.
yeah. I'd be like, how to I don't know how to react when I'm
Yeah,
having
how does
anxiety.
it feel that your boyfriend comes after 30 seconds every single time? Even with the vaunted dick spray.
Yeah, did the dick spray?
We've only done it that one time. I've been too embarrassed to do it again.
Why?
It's kind of weird. You got to stop hooking up and I have to take out a dick spray and spray it. I'm like, oh, you can't touch my dick for 5 minutes.
Also, it's not even 5 seconds. Like literally, like probably 20 seconds where you're grabbing the condom is such an odd silence. You do just kind of want to be like, so how are you doing? You know what I'm saying? You want to be like, so how's your day going?
I always hated that. I could never get it on, and then I'd go soft every time.
Oh,
It happened at 50% of the time.
I've had
probably.
that happen a couple times.
That's the worst. I always put it on the wrong way.
That's why my brother never wore condoms. Because his first couple times, he's like, he's as he called it, he got the shrinkage.
Yeah, your
when he
brother's
got
an aggro guy who can't take that either.
And he got
can't.
syphilis twice.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Syphilis?
Chlamydia twice.
Yeah,
My
not
bad.
syphilis. That'd be an 1800s flashback.
Yeah,
That would be-
chlamydia twice.
If your brother got syphilis, he was fucking some dirty women.
He was Southern Illinois.
Yeah, he went to Southern Illinois.
Carbondale.
Oh, that's a brutal place, isn't it?
Intense, dude.
Isn't Southern Illinois like a really bad?
My brother was the bartender at the Pinch Penny Pub.
Oh.
And he got the green light from the owner to, if anyone was ever fighting, literally his order was crack skulls. So my brother got to jump like if people were ever fighting, my brother wasn't told to break up a fight. It was to beat up the people who were beating
Jesus
each
Christ!
other
And
up.
we have a lawyer who will back you up.
Yeah,
no matter what.
he was just like just take him out.
Oh, Jesus.
Literally, that's what he was
Christ,
told. So
that's kinda
my
wild.
brother would just like bartend, and then he said from 2 to 3 he was just cracking skulls.
And I bet he loved that.
Yeah,
I
my
bet
brother.
he's having
Yeah,
a good time.
I've seen him wail on some people.
Yeah, that's fucking wild.
You hate to see it, folks.
You hate to see it. You're not a fighter. He got it all.
Nah, man.
Not a fighter. I'd love to fist fight you one day in the
Fucking-
ring.
I'll wreck you,
Get me
Jeff.
in the ring. Get some gloves on. I think I could do a little float like a butterfly, sting like a moth type of thing.
I
think
have
could do that.
I have controlled my Serbian aggression. I've learned to figure it out.
You think it could come out though if you were in a ring?
I'm a different man.
The
I'm a
bell
different man.
dings. You think the bell dings? That little barbaric tribal urge comes out.
Especially when you're a tall guy most of your life, when people see you be aggressive, it's one of the more like sad. It's a really bad sight.
Yeah.
When you lose your cool as a tall guy, you feel like such a. You feel like also you feel like a Philistine. You feel like well, why can't I use why can't I
Philistine? Okay.
You're
I
like, why
that
can't
word.
I talk this out? Why do I have to fucking
Right.
be bigger than you know what I'm saying?
when you see a little guy lose his shit, you're like, we get it. You're short. You're lashing out. Whatever.
but
Tall
that-
guys, like, you shouldn't be angry.
But that's how my brother and I would solve stuff. We would just like whenever we argue, it got this. And I caught myself in a couple situations at either parties or with friends where I just kind of leveled up in a way where people were like, yo, what was that? You know what I'm saying?
You lost your cool.
And I was just I don't want to see.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's growth. That's good. I like that.
Yeah,
That's
it's a
great.
bad look, dude.
No, that's
it's a bad
great.
look.
I feel like we gotta end this now, don't we?
Let's
Or we
do
got-
it.
Well, okay. I actually have one. Should we do a question from the listeners first? Is Tucker even here? See if he texted you.
Well, I got
a little
my-
behind the scenes, ladies and gentlemen, to see if our next guest is here or not. Did he text you?
No, nothing from Tucker yet.
Okay, so he might not even be. We'll do this question then. This is a question sent in by Jack Sigma. I think he's 2 in a row golden questions from Jack.
He rules.
Or it might be Jake. I can't remember. I think it's Jack.
It's Jake.
It's Jake. Okay, my bad, Jake. This is a question. I had to look up the
Or is
answer.
it Luke?
I don't think
It's
so.
Jake.
I think it's Jake. I think it's Jake. Okay. This is a question from him. I'm interested to see if you know the answer. What are you Googling right now?
I think Luke Sigma was a bass.
Are you Googling something right now?
Oh,
Luke?
sorry.
What would you discover in your Google?
Hold on.
Okay, what is he? I have to just stall for time.
No, they're
while he
basketball. He's a
Googles.
basketball player.
He
Sorry.
was a basketball player. Okay, this is a little trivia question. We all learned this in middle school, but I had actually forgotten the answer. So I'm interested to know if you remember or not. Why do boats float?
Huh.
Like you got a boat. Why does it float in the water? How come a rock plummets and a boat doesn't?
Honestly, no clue.
What's guess? This is I was close in my guess earlier today, but it actually is.
Did you know?
I knew I was about 2/3 right. I wasn't fully right.
Why do boats float? Literally no clue.
Come on, I want to get the thought. Just think it out. I won't hold this one against you because I actually forgot, honestly. This is actually a tough question. It's crazy that we learn this and just completely forget it.
I doubt I actually learned it.
I always forget you were just like,
Boats float.
why would a boat float? Why can't a human float when a boat can?
That comes to me is just buoyancy, but it doesn't matter.
That is a word that is
a word
the
that's
ability to
associated.
float. Yeah. But why are some things buoyant and something like some types of wood can float and some don't?
Certain
Why would that
parts,
be?
Is it just does it matter of like the density of like certain things?
Yeah, that's very, very much part of it. Yeah,
But that's such a wide.
That is not. Yeah, you're getting to it though. Yeah,
density.
It's the amount. It's actually interesting. These things are. It's interesting how things work. It's the amount. If the amount of water the boat displaces has to weigh less than the boat, or the boat has to weigh less than what that water weighs. Like the part of the boat that's underwater, the whole boat has to weigh less than that part of water that it pushed down. Because the water's pushing back up then to try to get back in that spot. So the boat has to weigh less than the water it pushes away.
The boat has to weigh less than the water it pushes away.
Because when you push something in the water, it pushes water away, right?
Uh-huh.
So it takes the space of that water. So if you calculate, I don't know how they do it, but how much water weighs. Because most of a boat's just air. Like the rooms are just air. So if it was all water, it would sink. But water's denser than air.
That's why most boats are actually pretty light.
Yeah. Water's denser than air. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
This isn't our funniest question, but it's good to learn.
Yeah, like
it's
when you drag a boat out, you're like, damn, this thing's fucking light.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's because
it has to be lighter than the water it's pushing away. Yeah. It's kind of
Am I heavier than a boat?
You're denser than a boat because our bodies are filled with water.
I'm rocked up.
You are dense as hell for sure, and we're filled with water.
Let's sign off here and say bye.
We got plugs. This is the main episode. Also, remember. We said it a few times. Please join the Patreon. We do.
Please,
it helps us greatly. It costs money to run a podcast, so it really helps us greatly if you join the Patreon.
Yes.
Jago, you have anything to plug next weekend?
Nothing next weekend.
What about the next weekend after that? Giving people a little heads up for that.
I'm still in.
What's your
New York.
next show that you want to plug?
Brooklyn Underground Comedy, February 22nd.
Oh, that'll be good. That's a good one.
Something Brewing in Gowanus.
I just did it actually. I can't remember the name.
Good
but
show?
It was a fun show. It was in Park Slope by Gowanus. Yeah. That's a good one. Next week, I'm at Duck Duck Goofs in Boston. Buy those shows on my website, as you know, whitecomedian.com. We also got the shows in Cincinnati coming up at Go Bananas Comedy Club. That's going to be great. And this has been episode 63 of You're an Idiot podcast. We're 63 episodes N-word free. Only 37 more till the big party in Little Rock, Arkansas. I've already reserved my hotel room. I hope you have too. We're going to be there. Toby Keith might be the opening act for the big party, so that could be exciting. Kid Rock is a maybe. Okay, good night and good luck. You've been an idiot for listening. Ta-ta.